Good morning. Hi, good morning. Good morning, dear friends. This is P. Krishnamurthy, lecturer in English, working at Government Degree College for Women, WANAPARTHY. Dear friends, today we are going to talk a beautiful poem written by Charlotte Bronte, and this poem is very important for every person living on this earth. It's not a it's not only a poem regarding any literary values, but also it focuses on life values. Today, this poem that we are going to enjoy it. Before we enjoy this poem, let's have pre-reading activity. What are your views about life? What are your ideas about life? What do you think about life? What is the perception of you about life? So let me know the views of you. What exactly do you have any definition about life? And everyone knows about life and everyone leads life. It's a matter how one leads the life. In the society we come to know some people always feel depressed. Some people always feel elated. Some people enjoy their lives. Some people always feel very sad about their lives. What is this reason? Is it not needed for us to know how life has to be led? Everyone has to understand how life has to be led. In the pre-reading activity, recall some happy moments and unhappy moments in our life. Please tell your happy moments. You may ask me a question. Sir, do you have any happy moments in your life? Do you have any unhappy moments in your life? So, as a matter of fact, every individual has got certain happy moments, certain unhappy moments. Everyone is everyone is not away from these ideas and moments. I felt very happy when I was declared as the university first ranker in my MA. I felt very happy when I was selected for junior lecturer job. I felt very happy when I was promoted to the post of DL and posted at MALD Government Arts and Science College Gadwal. I felt very unhappy when my father passed away from this life. I felt really that everything was lost in my life. Everything was completed in my life. I felt there was no one on this earth to support me. There was no one on this earth for me. I felt the entire life was empty. I felt there was no meaning to survive on this earth. But we're all human beings. We need to understand the real meaning of life. We get ideas of sorrow, we get ideas of happiness, but we have to understand the situation. We have to change our bent of mind. We have to change our perspective of view towards life. Life is a mixture of success and failure. You find success in your life, you find failure in your life. So there is a quotation called failures are stepping stone to success. A person who fails in the life is not a failure person throughout his life. If failure occurs, maybe sooner or later he is going to find success. When you enjoy success, be prepared yourself to face failure too. Sometimes it happens so. A person who passes in the 10th class examination in distinction, maybe in the intermediate, the same boy or a girl fails in intermediate. So when he passed in that first SSC, he enjoyed like anything. When he failed in intermediate, he felt very disappointed. These are all the things in the life. Life is a mixture of failure and success that everyone has to understand. For that, everyone has to change the attitude towards failure. You cannot be away from failure and you cannot be away from success. It all depends how you think, how you plan, how you design your life, how you develop your way of thinking, how you perform your activities, how you execute your plans, how successfully you do all the things that depends on. The success depends on all the items that you plan, perform, execute, and program. Failure depends on your performance only. People feel when you get failure, they simply find fault with others. Just because of that particular person, today I got failure. Just because of that incident, that I got failure. Just because of that thing, that I got failure. People always try to throw the failure on somebody else. It's not like that. You change your attitude. Everyone has to change the attitude towards life, towards success, towards failure, and be ready to face adversity also. What do you understand by adversity? Hard times, very difficult times. The real greatness of an individual is found when one faces adversity. One is ready to face the adversity. That's why every individual has to be ready to face adversity, and one has to maintain balance between unfortunate things and fortunate things also. Life is all about balancing fortunate and unfortunate things. When something good happens, you have to take it, you have to receive it, you have to celebrate it, enjoy it, make a festival about that one. When you get failure also, you have to take it equally. Don't feel uh, don't feel you are depressed, don't feel that you lost everything, don't feel that you got out of all this world, and you feel that still there is life for you. That is the rhythm of life, that is the music of life, that is the rhyme of life, that is the song of life, I could say like that. That's why life is full of opportunities. Life is full of opportunities and challenges. On one hand, you can find the opportunities open for you. It all depends how you take the opportunities, how you so make use of that opportunity, how best to make use of that opportunity, and you become successful. And challenges sometimes, you you have a challenge. You think how to come out of that challenge, how to face that challenge. Poverty, sometimes it happens, so it's a challenge. It's a challenge. You know about APJ Abdul Kalam. He was born in a middle class society. He was born in a middle class family. He was not born the silver spoon in his mouth. So he was very ordinary person. In spite of that one, with his concrete willpower, he went on studying, and later he became world famous scientist. So, and he was the dear president of India, and he was a wonderful teacher. Like that, it all depends how you mold your opportunities, how you face the challenges, how you come out of the challenges, how you so take the challenges in a positive manner. Sometimes You get negative thoughts. Sometimes you get negative emotions. But try to overcome all those things. When you get so negative ideas, you try to overcome those things. You don't always try to spend. That's why don't spend with the pessimistic people. Don't try to be in the pessimistic atmosphere. If you always try to be in pessimistic atmosphere, what happens, you also become pessimist, and you don't find the brighter side of the life, and you don't even find so success in your life. You don't even achieve any good thing in your life because you are dwelling in the pessimistic atmosphere. That's why be good with the friends, do good with the friends, do in the company of good ones, and the good ones here, good people. When you are in the company of good members, you always get positive ideas, and those positive ideas keep on working, and that they will change your life. And here and there you find in the society that some people are depressed. We don't know why they are depressed. There might be reason, but there might be very bad thing that take place in the life of everybody, but we need not get depressed. There is solution for every problem. There is solution that every individual has to understand, that there is no problem without solution. If there is solution, there is a problem. If there is a problem, there is solution. That's why this life is meant for you. This is the life that you have to love. This is a dear life given by God. This is a dear life that you have to enjoy it. This is a very special life that you have to enjoy it. Life is a game, play it. Life is music, play it. Life is a challenge, face it. Life is a journey. Come on, so make a journey in that one. Life is a lovely platform where you have to enjoy it. Here and there you come across certain problems also. You can't evade all those things, but you have to face, you have to overcome, you have to create your own heaven in the on this platform. Like that, here Charlotte Bronte, a famous writer of 19th century, she has a lot of ideas, all the practical ideas that she enjoyed, she faced, she experienced in the life. All the experiences of Charlotte Bronte were kept in the form of poetry. So let us see uh, what the poem says about. Very particularly, I would like to talk to you. So about the author, let me know. Let us know something about author. Charlotte Bronte. She was born in a poor family. Her father was a clergyman working for a meager amount of salary, and so Charlotte Bronte, she had a wonderful desire, wonderful ambition. People just laugh when they come to know about her ambition when she was a child. It's not only the ambition of Charlotte Bronte when she was a child, it was the ambition of all three sisters. They are called Charlotte Bronte sisters. Charlotte Bronte, Emily Bronte, Annie Bronte. All these three sisters had got a common ambition to become a great writer in their future life. Though they were not educated in a popular, famous, well celebrated institutions of education, but they had the idea to become writers when they grew up. They went on thinking, they went on writing, they went on practicing. So they went on writing, they went on practicing. So Charlotte Bronte used to write a poem and used to give that poem to her sister to correct that one. And Emily Bronte used to write poem or any piece of literature, used to give that one to uh, Annie Bronte or Charlotte Bronte for correction. In that way, they perfected themselves. They created world of creative world, and with that one, so all three sisters became wonderful writers of 19th century. That's why I could say that Charlotte Bronte was a celebrated writer. She went on writing some poems, she created wonderful novels, and she was born in the year 1816. Of course, she lived very shortly on this earth. She passed away in the year 1855. Though her tenure was very, very short, but she created wonderful creative writings to this world. One of those writings so is Jane Eyre, a popular novel, a classic of Western literature, which was written by Charlotte Bronte in the year 1847. And you know very well. So before 18th century, before 19th century, I could say that women were not encouraged to write. Only in the 19th century itself. That's why 19th century is the century of revolution. 19th century is the century of progress. 19th century is the century of new awakening. 19th century is the century of new ideas. In the 19th century, women came forward. They started writing poetry. Of course, there may be so came forward very little number. They came forward and began writing. So among them, here Bronte sisters very very popular. All of them, especially I think that here Charlotte Bronte, she continued to write her writings. So under a male pseudonym, or she continued to write her poems or novels under pseudonym, under pen name Currer Bell. Currer Bell, and that was the situation. People in that century never used to give any importance for women. Some of them, even the educated people also, they never try to understand the feelings and ideas and writings of the women. That's the reason all the Bronte sisters, they went on writing not with their names, with their original names, but with their pen names only. Here Charlotte Bronte wrote a very good number of poems and novels, so under the name of Currer Bell. Okay, dear friends, this is all about Charlotte Bronte, a celebrated writer, well renowned writer of 19th century, woman poet, so very excellent writer, a great philosopher of life, and whatever that she experienced, she went on so writing in her writings. And today we are so fortunate enough to read a beautiful poem, philosophical poem, a poem on personality development, a poem so that teaches what is the rhythm of life, and the poem name is Life. So about the poem, what exactly the poem says? The poem focuses on realities of life. The poem focuses on realities of life. What are the realities that we could understand? Realities, happiness and sorrow, joy and sorrow, hope and despair. These are the realities. Everyone has to understand. I want to enjoy only happiness. I don't want to get any unhappiness. Uh, I want to, I want only very comfortable life. I want to be very joyful life. Okay, it's a will, it's your wish, it's your desire, it's your nice ambition also. But just by your wish, things are not going to be happen here. Sometimes something they are not in our hands. They just come like that. So we have to accept life. Life is very very dear for all of us, that we have to accept the realities in life. What are the realities that we find in life? Success will be there on one side, and so failure is there on the other side, and joy is there on one side, sorrow is there on the other side, hope is there on one side, and despair is there on the other side. These are the things that we have to understand and assimilate in our way of thinking. You have to develop that kind of perspective of mind. You have to develop that kind of attitude towards life. Then only I think you can enjoy the life, whether it is sorrow, whether it is despair, whether it is hope, whether it's ambition, whether it's success, whether it's failure, whatever it could be, that you can understand. So the reality of life, and that is the real greatness of a person who could understand. Of course, you may be well educated, you may be a doctor of laws, you may be something else. When you don't understand the real meaning of life, I think there is no meaning in our life. There is no meaning. You can't enjoy life. And very Honestly, I say there are some people who are educated, who are highly educated, sometimes, they commit suicide. This is not at all fair on their part only. Of course, they have problems, but problems are everywhere. Failures are everywhere. At the same time, joys are there. Joys are there. Happy things are there. Happy moments are there. Excitements are there. That you see the only brighter side. You see always only the negative side of the life. Don't always develop only to see the negative side of the life. You try to develop to see the brighter side of the life. So that's why the poem focuses on the realities of life, moments of joy and sorrow, hope and despair in life. The poet urges everyone. The poet here, Charles Bronte, wants to urges one thing to have positive attitude. Come on, my dear men and women, try to develop that positive attitude. Don't always try to develop negative attitude, because negative attitude that kills your life, that brings sorrow, that brings failure, that brings negative thinking. So try to develop that kind of positive attitude. When you think that it's going to be happen, it's happened. When you think that it's going to be possible, it's possible. When you think that it's going to be one, definitely it's going to be one. When you think that it's going to be excellent, definitely it's going to be excellent only. So it's all your mindset. You can make hell of heaven and heaven of hell with your thinking only. You can make hell of heaven and heaven of hell with your thinking only. There is nothing either good or bad in this universe. Only your thinking, only the way how you think, that keeps you in the realm of that sorrow, in the realm of that happiness only. That's why the poet adjusts from this poem to develop that positive attitude that will create a heaven of, so heaven of hell also. Don't create a hell in heaven. Some people, they have everything. They have all the comforts in their life. They have salaries. They have good things, and every comfort is there. But still, they feel that they are depressed only. I don't understand how the people will be like that only. Yes, because lacking that positive attitude towards the life only. The poet here once again encourages to look beyond disappointments. The poet encourages the people to look beyond the disappointments. Because disappointments may happen. Suppose a student, prepares very well and writes in the examination very well. By any mistake, sometimes suddenly he gets failed, and naturally it gives a lot of disappointment. But you can't stay in that disappointment for a longer time. What happens, when you stay back in that disappointment mood? What happens? Definitely you are going into depression, and that depression is dangerous, and that may even take your life also. That's why you will look beyond disappointments. Disappointments may take place, but beyond disappointments, you beyond disappointments. So that Wright brothers, the inventors of this flight, so aeroplane, Wright brothers, so they were not disappointed. They tried. So their intention was to fly in the air. Their ambition was to fly in the air. So a lot of them, many a time, they got disappointments, whether it was going to be possible or not, but they did not stop like that, because they had that positive attitude. They created positive attitude in their life, and they got success. That's why success is going to be to those people who have that positive attitude only. Don't get disappointed even for a smaller thing. Next, coming to appreciate pleasures of life. So the poet encourages to appreciate pleasures of life. You try to appreciate the pleasures of life. When good thing is there, come on, enjoy that one. When happiness is there, enjoy it totally. When success comes, enjoy it totally. People, even some people, some gloomy people, some people who have got a negative attitude towards life, they can't even enjoy the happy moments also. When it's a festival, come on, enjoy festival. When it's vacation, enjoy vacation. When you are on tour, try to enjoy that tour. When you are so going to, when you are an engineer, try to enjoy that one. When you are so reading any poem, when you are reading any lesson, when you are reading any novel, try to enjoy that pleasure of reading. People simply forget about the pleasures of life. So this is the idea that the poet wants to encourage all the members in the society. The poet asserts that hope wins over despair finally. Hope. Poet says that whatever the problems might be, whatever the frictions might be, whatever the sorrows might be, whatever the situations might be, ultimately, finally, eventually, which is going to win over. It is hope only. It is a positive attitude only. It is your attitude of positiveness that will win over despair. Don't get yourself desperate. Don't be desperate. Just because you get only one, two, three failures like that. So you may feel temporarily desperate, but come out of that web of thinking of negative ideas and try to think in a hopeful manner. Hope always. Finally, it is hope only that wins over despair, and it's a wonderful idea. When you are hopeful, naturally will win over. When you don't have any hope, when you have hope for tomorrow, naturally you live today. When you don't have any hope for tomorrow, you don't enjoy today. You feel that today is very sorrowful day. I can't enjoy my life, and you make your hell of heaven also. That's the reason every individual must always try to cultivate the idea of idea of possessing hope towards life. Hope finally wins over despair. And these are this is the general idea about the poem. Let's go into the poem. So straight away, which was written by Charlotte Bronte. And now the text of the poem. You see this one, the text of the poem. Here is the poem. Here is the poem written by Charlotte Bronte. So recite the poem. When you recite the poem with the mind of that writer, with the feeling that you are going to read poem of Charlotte Bronte, you enjoy that poem, you celebrate reading, and this is called creating a mindset for the thing in a positive manner. So change your attitude, change your perspective idea. And this poem is there before you, which was written by Charlotte Bronte. This is going to be a beautiful poem. This is going to give a lot of information to me. This is going to be a wonderful poem on life. And definitely Charlotte Bronte was a famous writer. She wrote a wonderful poem for me. Let me know what is given in this poem. I think there is extraordinary information that is there in this poem, and that is going to cherish my life, that is going to change my life, that is going to be something in my life, that is going to add something in my life. When you have this kind of idea towards any poem, towards any piece of writing, definitely you enjoy it. Here is a poem. Let me recite this poem for your sake. Life, believe, is not a dream so dark as sages say, so dark as sages say, of a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient on. If the shower will make the roses bloom, oh, why lament its fall? Rapidly, merrily, life's sunny hours flit by. Gratefully, cheerily, enjoy them as they fly. What though death at times steps in and calls our best away? What though sorrow seems to win over hope, a heavy sway? At hope again elastic springs unconquered. Though she fell, still buoyant are her golden wings, still strong to bear us well. Manfully, fearlessly the day of trial bear, for gloriously, victoriously can courage quell despair. This is the poem. So here is once again, I recite this poem once again. Life, believe, is not a dream, so dark as sages say, of a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all. If the shower will make the roses bloom, oh, why lament its fall? Rapidly, merrily, life's sunny hours flit by. Gratefully, cheerily, enjoy them as they fly. For though death at times steps in and calls our best away, for though sorrow seems to win over hope, its heavy sway, yet hope again elastic springs, unconquered though she fell. Still buoyant are her golden wings, still strong to bear us well. Manfully, fearlessly, the day of trial bear. For gloriously, victoriously, can courage quell despair. This is the recitation of the poem. So, my dear friends, when you recite any poem, you recite any piece of literature, or especially I'm talking about a poem, you feel, recite with a lot of feeling, positive feeling, You feel that the poet has come into you and you are just reading that poem. You are reciting that poem. Then only, just by recitation, you understand 50% of the poem. Now we'll read stanza wise and understand the inner meaning of the poem. We read word by word, line by line, stanza by stanza, and try to conceive the depthness of the poet's ideas, the depthness of this poem, the underlying meaning of this poem, in what way it is going to be a celebrated poem, in what is going to be useful for us, in what way the students of undergraduation have to study this one. What is the need of studying this poem? It's indeed it's a great poem because life perspective attitude has to be created in the minds of young men and women studying so UG courses. Once they understand the underlying meaning of this poem, they become courageous, they become confident, they become positive, they become so eloquent, they become so extraordinary person to achieve whatever they wish in their life. And they easily come out from any kind of disappointment. They just win over so despair with their hopeful minds only. So here is the poem once again, word by word, line by line. Life, believe, is not a dream so dark as sages say. So, sages, the learned people, the old people, and scholars, they say that life is not a dream. It's all problems also. Remember, life is not bed of roses. It has got even problems too. According to the great men, according to the great people, life is so life is mixture of good and bad. Life is mixture of dream and so darkness also. That we have to understand. Of a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. In the morning, you enjoy that drizzling. It's morning, when you get from bed, when you come outside of your home, when you find that it's drizzling and you feel it's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful beginning of the day. You enjoy that one. Foretells. Often little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Sometimes there are clouds of gloom. Sometimes what happens, there are clouds of gloom also. Sometimes, life, there are clouds of gloom. You find there are problems in your life. Yeah, they happen. When it's a morning, when it's a sunny morning, when it's a wonderful morning, you feel happy. At the same time, when you find clouds of gloom, you should also be prepared to face those kind of problems. But these are transient all. But these are transient all. So these gloom, so these clouds of gloom are transient. They are not going to be permanent. They are not going to stay in your life. They are going to be temporary. Whether it may be happiness, whether it may be so unhappiness. So it's important. Both are important in the life. That's why don't feel that so only happiness is permanent, only unhappiness is permanent. So though it may be so wonderful morning, so okay, though it may be wonderful morning, so though it may be so very cloud of gloom, so all these things are so all these things are uh, temporary only. That's why the writer wants to say, sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all. If the shower will make the roses bloom, if the shower will make the roses bloom, oh, why lament its swan? You know pretty well, when it's drizzling, when the shower happens, what happens? The shower comes and makes the roses blooming like anything. So you feel very happy when nature looks very beautiful with all red roses, with all flowers, with all greenery. You feel that it's a wonderful thing. You enjoy that one because spring is the season where you feel nature is very rich with all so beauty, and you enjoy yourself. When shower comes and provide all kind of beauties for nature, we enjoy that one. But in summer season, what happens? The leaves, all greenery goes up, and flowers will go up, and nature looks very deserted. Nature looks very very dry, and it symbolizes, it personifies that life is also sorrowful sometimes. So spring so personifies life is full of happiness. So that's why, and summer signifies that life is all about sorrow. It happens soon. So sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all. If the shower will make the roses bloom, oh why lament its swarm? When flowers fall down, when flowers fade out, why do you so lament on that one? Why do you feel very sad about that one? That is the principle of nature. That is the rhythm of life. So roses, as long as roses are there on the tree, they on the plant, they give a lot of beauty to nature. When it's the time for fading out, when it's the time for falling down, the roses fall down. Why do you lament of that one? That is the principle of life. That is the principle that everyone has to understand. If the shower will make the roses bloom, oh why lament its fall? Rapidly, merrily, life's sunny hours flit by. Like that, before us, all the sunny hours, wonderful hours, very, very happy hours, wonderful moment, they just simply flit by, escape from us. Gratefully, cheerily enjoy them as they fly. When all happy moments are going away, come on, enjoy. So say bye even to them also, because you have enjoyed yourself in those moments. And so try to enjoy, and they just go away. What though death at times steps in and calls our best away. Sometimes, suffering comes. Sometimes unhappen, uneven thing takes place in your life. Sometimes death comes when all members in a family, when they are enjoying themselves, suddenly death happens to a member in the family. Suddenly it's a bolt from the blue sky. When it happens, it's the principle of life. So far and so forth, you enjoyed yourself. So all these joyful moments, now it's a time for unhappiness. When death, so what though death at times steps in and calls our best away. When somebody dies in the family, so the joy of the members in the family that goes off, it's disappeared, and they just begin to lament, and the hard times will come in their life. It's a common thing that everyone has to understand. That is the thing that the writer wants to say, that what though sorrow seems to win. Here you see this one. What though sorrow, so what though sorrow, what though sorrow seems to win over hope, a heavy sway. Sorrow may come. It appears as if it is taking all your joy, it's taking all your happiness. What though sorrow seems to win, you feel sometimes, no, sorrowful things are taking place, or failures are coming in my life, and disappointments are taking place in my life. I think my life is all about sorrow. My life is full of sorrow. My life is full of despair. I think I don't have any ray of light in my life. You feel that your life is over. It's not like that. Don't think like that. What though sorrow seems to win over hope, a heavy sway, you feel you can't even bear that one sorrowful incident that take place in your film. Yet hope again elastic springs. Yet again hope again elastic springs. Hope has got elastic springs. Come on, be confident, be courageous, be hopeful. You have hope. Don't lose hope. When you are in sorrow, when you are in unhappy moments, so you have to face those things, you have to face those challenges, but don't dishearten yourself, and feel that hope is there. Hope again elastic springs. Hope has got elastic springs, unconquered. Hope cannot be conquered by anyone. That every individual has to feel that one. Hope cannot be conquered by anyone. Though she fell, what happens, no? Hope sometimes we feel that hope is gone down, hope fell down. We feel that one still buoyant. Hope, it appears as if hope is disappearing. It appears hope is falling down, but it's buoyant. It comes sooner or later. It comes up with a still buoyant or golden wings. What do you think about the hope? It has got golden wings. Her wings are buoyant enough. So hope is so confident. Hope is very courageous. It is not going to go down into the waters of sorrow. It will not stay there. It comes up. You feel that life is escaping from you, but don't feel that life will never escape from you. You must have that hopeful idea towards your life. Unconquered though she fell, still buoyant or golden wing, still strong to bear as well. When you have hope in your mind, you are ready to face any kind of problem. That is called be strong, still strong to bear as well, manfully, fearlessly. Be strong, be courageous, fearlessly. When problems come, don't fear about all these things. Nothing takes place in my life. Okay, it's also one kind of experience. I have to experience, I have to plan, I have to come out of this one, I have to face this one, I have to escape from this one, I have to enjoy this one also. This is one kind of experience that I have to do it. And with that, you have to look yourself that you are fearless. The day of trial bear for gloriously and victoriously. Definitely, when you face all this one, when you win over all these problems, when you come out of these problems, what is going to be there? When you win over all these things, when you come out of all these problems, what is going to be there for you? Can courage quell despair? Definitely, courage. It is courage that can quell despair. Courage has got this wonderful idea. Hope has got this wonderful idea that will stop your despair, and eventually you find that you are going to win when you possess positive approach, when you possess positive attitude, when you have this kind of hopeful nature. Definitely, you are going to win over anything at all. So the writer wants to say from this poem, so what she wants to say that one, you must be confident on yourself. You must be hopeful towards life. You must be very pragmatic in the life. You must be realistic in your life. You must be very friendly in your life. You must be optimistic towards life. When you are optimistic, definitely everything is going to be wonderful in your life. So with that philosophical note, the poem is ended. The poet wants to give wonderful idea from this poem only. Every individual can create heaven of hell also, but don't create hell of heaven. So with your positive attitude, you can make a paradise on this earth with your way of courage, with your way of confidence, with your air of enthusiasm, with your positive attitude. And this is the idea given by Charlotte Bronte from this poem. And this is all about the poem, my dear friends. Now, let's see uh, that a glossary. So here a glossary is there. So glossary here we find all words are there, some meanings are there. Sage, a wise person, foretell, to say what is going to happen, and gloom, darkness, or maybe feeling of unhappiness, transit, all these things. Momentary. So bloom, open, nature, blossoming. So lament, cry, weep, sunny, bright side, bright or cheerful, flit, escaping or fly, sway, control, influence, unconquered, so undefeated, buoyant, able to fly, able to float, manfully, courageously, quell. So stop this one, despair, and to lose hope. Next, coming to possible questions for discussion. So, what kind of questions that you expect? So, because this is a poem prescribed for UG candidates for first year and the students of undergraduation, so they are supposed to answer essay type questions in the examination. You should also prepare yourself to write answers in essay type manner. So here are two questions which are given, which are possible going to be asked here. Examine the poet's view of life in the poem Life. So here the what are the ideas and views of poet in the poem Life? The second one, explain the attitude to life that poet Charlotte Bronte is recommending. What kind of philosophy that Charlotte Bronte want to explain to the people? What kind of life is recommended by Charlotte Bronte from the poem life? And these are the possible questions that are expected. So students of undergraduation, so get yourself ready, and when you get a essay question like this one, you can present all the views that are projected by the poet Charlotte Bronte in the poem so vehemently, so courageously, so fearlessly, so confidently, so gloriously. I'm sure that when you write the answer with a positive mind, I'm sure that you are going to get the highest marks, which are highest marks in the examination. I'm sure about that one. Let's see next one. Post reading activity. So post reading activity. So after reading this poem, what else is to be done by the students of undergraduation. Just by reading and understanding the views of Charlotte Bronte from the poem Life, don't stop there itself. You try to find out. Go to any YouTube, go to library and try to find out, are there any poems written on life? If there are any poems written on life, so what are those poems? What are the ideas referred in those poems? Who are the writers? Who are the poets? Try to know about that. In that way, you may find that a proliferation of ideas are there. Just by reading and confining yourself only one poem, you gather information, you get new bent of mind, you get perspective way towards life. But at the same time, you have to broaden your way of thinking just by reading other works of literature, other works written by some other poets or writers on life. So, post reading activity here, P.B. Shelley poem, Out to the West Wind. It's a wonderful poem, Out to the West Wind. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Here also in this poem, P.B. Shelley wants to say that nothing is permanent. If you have any suffering today, tomorrow you are going to have happiness. If you have any enjoyment today, tomorrow you are going to have suffering. Get yourself ready to face anything. And from the poem Out to the West Wind written by P.B. Shelley. And there is another poem written by Sarojini Naidu, our Indian poet Sarojini Naidu. So she has also presented so very wonderful ideas in her poem Life, and that's one. Well, once you read that poem, also you come to know what exactly the young men and women are supposed to develop the ideas towards life, and all wonderful ideas are given by Sarojini Naidu in the poem Life. Next, coming to share happy and unhappy experiences in your life also. After reading, Charlotte Bronte poem, reading P.B. Shelley's poem, Ode to the West Wind, reading Sarojini Naidu's poem Life, and you just sit with all your friends and try to share your happy and unhappy experiences in life so that you also develop your communicative skills, you also make yourself confident in your speaking, you also make yourself confident in expressing your ideas, and in that way you can gain that idea. Next one, find about institutions, organizations that help people deal with sorrow and depression. There are some institutions and organizations in the society which are rendering a lot of services to help the people who are depressed and sorrow. And you should also visit those institutions, organizations, and try to find out how the people are depressed and how these organizations and institutions are looking after them. And if it is possible, you can just mold the mindsets of the people who are depressed. In that way, the learning of this poem is completed. And I just say that this is a wonderful opportunity for me talking to you and saying the great poem written by Charlotte Bronte. So, poem Life. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear friends. Thank you.